Alright, so chat, in celebration, both to get us both so we can actually have some fun, and in celebration of Tysel's wonderful wonderful day, let's watch an AK blow up. Okay? Let us check out testing Operation Eldest Son, the exploding AK via Ballistic High-Speed. And who knows, if we get through this fast enough, maybe we'll do the special effects one too. We might have enough time to do the special effects video at this as well afterwards. So, let's do this.
Welcome to a very special episode of Ballistic High-Speed. We're collabing with Nick, Fat Electrician. He is doing the historical segment on a very interesting historical bit, and we are doing the practical sides.
Yes, so we're going to start out with a standard 7.62 by 39 out of this AK that was provided by one Mr. Brandon Herrera, just to prove that this is in fact a fully functional, untampered with weapon system.
And now, triple collab here. So Nick was, Nick was doing, the Billy Waugh thing. So that's what Nick, where they were talking about Nick, the Billy Waugh video we already reacted to. They're doing the practical of Operation Eldest Son, and Brandon provided the AK. It's a triple collab.
And we are going to delve into one of the most clandestine operations that was ran in the Vietnam War, and Jake with Ordnance Lab is going to help us pull it off so we can see exactly what was going on deep in the jungle. This is going to be a deep dive into Operation Eldest Son.
Welcome back to Ballistic High-Speed.
Oh, this is so cool. So cool.
So real quick, why we are even touching this topic of discussion, there was a group in Vietnam. It's called the Military Assistance Command Vietnam Studies and Observations Group, more formally known as MACV-SOG.
AKA SOG. They selectively chose that name because it sounds innocuous enough that if somebody read it on a sheet of paper, it sounds like a bunch of nerds hanging out in the basement of the Pentagon and not the biggest badasses that America has, waging a shadow war against the NVA.
I'm interested in this because MACV-SOG kind of went on to birth PSYOP in the military, and I was PSYOP, Psychological Operations. And the effectiveness of...
He was in Intel? Doing PSYOP? Because, if I'm not mistaken, isn't PSYOP sort of like a sub-branch of Intel? Am I thinking correctly? I'm trying to remember if that was basically like a specialty branch of military intel. No, his partner was the medic. Not Ryget, not him, his partner was the medic. He apparently was different MOS. Yeah. Okay, so he was intel. Yes, Court, it is indeed. It is.
Of it is kind of questioned, but we're not going to get too deep in that because the Fat Electrician is doing an entire history deep dive into all of that stuff.
One of the many ways that SOG combated the NVA was Operation Eldest Son, where they would track down the NVA, spy on them while they dropped off their weapons caches, intercept the weapons caches, and replace the guns and ammunition.
What? Wait. Why? Why? Of course you would do that. I'm trying it. Well, I mean, it would fit in the fun. Nothing like listening to Nick talking about MACV-SOG and all of a sudden Kirby sucking on my titties. Chat, admit it. You're jealous of Kirby right now, aren't you? Go ahead, so you can admit it. Gray matter, you logged into Kirby sucking on my breasts. That's what you logged into.
with defective guns and defective ammunition.
So you can go check out his funny shenanigans on how he will educate you on what happened here. We are here to show you what happened because it was effective physically.
This was psychologically designed so that when the Viet Cong utilized this faulty ammunition and the faulty guns, they would go into combat, they would get killed because their guns would either blow up in their face or they would jam, and this would harbor distrust between the Viet Cong and the NVA, as well as erode morale.
I'll let Nick handle it from there. We just have, these are standard 7.62 by 39. These aren't the special detonation rounds. So we are just going to watch the cycling of the weapon. We're gonna see what the muzzle exit is supposed to look like in a normal, totally functioning weapon. We're just gonna fire it, prove it works, and then we're gonna blow it up. Allegedly, the bolt carrier group is going to come out of the back of the rifle and into the shooter, where we'll have some gel blocks so we can capture all the shrapnel. Watch, this just blows up the AK. Damn it, Brandon. All right, weapons hot.
High speed ready.
3, 2, 1.
Lovely. Very nice, very nice. It's always so pretty watching the bolt action, or a bolt's action function like this.
So, it appears to be a functional weapon.
Eh.
Weapons clear. So there we have it. It is good to go, and now
Okay.
we're gonna destroy it.
But this contains
I want to say that they have equally fast cameras, Leo. I'm pretty sure Ballistic High-Speed uses the same cameras that slow-mo guys do. So, I think it's 6 one after the other. It's just Ballistic High-Speed functions on ballistic stuff, whereas slow-mo is more varied in the things that they record in slow motion. But I'm pretty sure they have the same, the same camera rigs. Multiple cameras. They've got the standard 1,000 frame per second high speed. They've got the 7,000 frame per second, and I think they've got the 30 or 50,000 frame per second, same as slow-mo guys do. So, yep.
a large amount of explosive in here that will go off when the primer gets struck.
And so this is as historically accurate as we can get to what MACV-SOG was putting in the Viet Cong's weapon.
200.
Correct.
Oh,
I did not use
200,000.
any
God, how could I
special
forget
explosive
that? Thank you,
did not exist
Clever.
during the Vietnam War. I made this as clone correct as I could. Of course, there's somebody in the comments like, you did it.
Leo, we saw that one. That was I think the where he teamed up with Garand Thumb. We saw that one. Yeah, it was where they basically fired a tank round at a ballistic gel torso. That's we saw that one. That's on the YouTube channel. So yeah, that was an epic video.
Use Russian ammo.
I can hear it now.
I can hear it now. Dirty old used blocks.
Oh, different one, really?
I'm right here.
What'd he say?
Ammo.
I can hear it now.
I can hear it now. Dirty old used blocks.
I'm right here.
I'm expecting more to go towards the rear.
What torso? Yeah, Dragon. Ballistic High-Speed teamed up with Garand Thumb, and they actually fired a tank shell at a ballistic gel torso. And we watched it basically vaporize. It basically the torso underwent rapid molecular destabilization. Oh, you said slow-mo guys. Oh. Leo, I saw a tank and I immediately thought it was a Ballistic High-Speed one. Oh, okay. Gotcha.
We will put our 1 bullet shot to the front and the back side of this. Like that.
Time for slow-mo and destruction.
And destruction. This is strapped down in our Ransom International because you're not going to want to be anywhere near this. We've got a handy dandy string. We have a 7.62 by 39 and the P designates that it's the PETN round. So we set
Oh
up
boy.
some gel blocks because all of this should pretty well just grenade. So we want to kind of catch some of that. And on the chance that the legend is true and the bolt carrier group does in fact come out of the rear cover, we've got a nice, kind of a nice juicy watermelon.
Could be juicier.
Could be juicier,
but it is a watermelon.
to see if we can actually send that bolt carrier
It's about the
into
size
it.
of a human
Kind of
head.
an emulation of somebody's head, but a little
Little
less
small.
graphic. So
Thank you to Brandon Herrera for donating an AK to the cause. I know he's pretty excited to see what these do because he's kind of a history guy too.
we've got a myriad of phantoms as usual. We're going to capture the destruction from several angles, several different frame rates. See if we can make a frag grenade plus a missile. Like, this is going to be weird.
I know. I hope it's true. That's for our explosives expert. I believe we're ready to have you loaded up and pop this
This
thing.
is gonna be good.
Ah, we're going live. You guys ready?
All right, good. All right.
Weapons hot.
All right, should be good now.
Yeah, get very far away from that.
Okay, high speed ready.
Here we go. Yeah.
That's the dust cover for sure.
Wow.
I get so used
Okay.
to like
I know it's gonna look awesome on high speed. That was a lot less explosive than I anticipated. Honestly, I'm sure the high speed's probably gonna look fucking badass, but at a real-time speed? Yeah, that's what he said. Probably the dust cover. Oh, absolutely can be. It'll be demoralizing. I don't know. I was expecting more of a. I guess I was expecting more of a boom. I kept thinking, okay, is this gonna be like the same kind of explosive energy like we saw with Scott's 50 cal? And I'm just like I guess I was expecting a little bit more because we've seen rounds like detonate in the breach and royally fuck up a weapon, and no question the AK's fucked up. But I was expecting more explosive.
the big explosions. I was expecting like a boom.
Yeah, see, I'm not the only one. He thought so too. He was expecting the big explosion too. It's not just me. Even the professional was expecting a big explosion. Ah.
Oh yeah, you can smell it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh
cool.
yeah, something hit that.
Well, we didn't lose the watermelon.
We didn't lose the watermelon. Spring almost came out.
Ah.
So the dust cover launched.
Yeah, I saw it come back
Ah.
there. Oh yeah,
Wow.
it's all busted in here.
That's jammed up.
Yeah.
Nice and good.
That's, yeah.
Oh.
There's all the
That's the casing.
casing, and
I don't know if you can see that at all.
it blew the magazine out. It broke the whole safety mechanism.
So this is the bolt carrier group. It just got lodged sideways.
Given that
Yeah.
though, I mean, if this was a highly used in the Vietnam War and everything was more broken down, I could totally see how these would eventually start.
Yeah.
I mean, you basically just took a weapon out of the enemy's hands. You just destroyed their weapon. And so even so it's giving you a twofold approach for demoralizing the enemy. Not only are you instilling paranoia, like, oh my god, what if the next round I put through this is going to detonate my weapon? Even though it may not necessarily harm them, the ammo's no good, and you've lost your firearm. So you are doing a two-front demoralizing.
Coming up out of there, and
Because it's one of those things where do it 100 times, it could do it 100 different ways of exploding.
yeah, I mean, that would be a mission success. That would now make you
Oh, yeah,
want
Albert,
to
absolutely
reevaluate
would
your
stun
ammo
user for a
supplier,
bit.
your weapon supplier. The intent wasn't to kill people with it. It was a psychological operations, and that would totally do it.
Oh! Okay. Okay. So they didn't sabotage the rounds to kill. This was strictly a psyop. Then that makes more sense. why there wouldn't be as big of a boom. Thinking logically on this does make more sense that, yeah, you just want to, again, foster that paranoia and mental demoralization, and also within that very lovely side benefit of destroying their equipment at the same time, but not in a way that's like, big boom. This is like, with this kind of destruction, it would be that did they give us bad ammo versus holy shit, someone's actually trying to sabotage us. Shit! Your aim was a bit off on that one, although you did get a good suckle on the right breast there. Yeah, exactly, Atos. Yeah, with an explosion of this nature, it could be like they don't know what happened. I actually could see with a larger explosion, they could actually consider it an act of sabotage, and then they could, MacVisog could have been showing their hand with a bigger explosion. Now that I'm thinking about it, this is much more subtle, and is more effective at driving a wedge between, the North Vietnamese. So yeah. Well, I don't think that the explosion giving away the enemy position was a consideration. It might have been like a handy little side benefit. Granted, if the enemy is shooting at you, you're already in a gunfight, so there's already bullets flying. But this is more like when this happens in combat, the North Vietnamese can go, oh shit, this we got bad ammo from our suppliers. And they wouldn't be shooting anymore after this. But I don't think they loaded up all the rounds. I think they were very strategic with it, where they made it like, didn't they do it like 1 every 5 rounds or 1 every 10 rounds was the sabotage round? So it would have been harder to try one. Oh, was it 1 per case? 1 every 15? Yeah, I'm seeing different. But it wasn't. They didn't replace every round. They strategically replaced 1 every multiple rounds. And so that was part of the psyop factor, because it's not every round. And so they're like, oh god, is this gonna be the one that, is this one gonna explode? And the explosion wasn't so verbose that they're thinking immediately someone sabotaged our shit, instead they're thinking we're getting supplied with garbage or ammunition. Yeah.
There's definitely little bits of shrapnel everywhere, but the main piece of shrapnel seems like it maybe went high. Obviously, we'll have high speed for that. I also wonder if the bullet came out, and if so, if it was faster than normal.
It should have, yeah.
Well, dust cover. Finally found it about 100 and some feet that way. It's a little mangled, but I mean, if this flew past your head or hit you in the head, I'd probably stop shooting my AK.
If that got you in the eye?
That's why you wear Wiley X. Just kidding, not sponsored. Okay, so this is our wide shot, so we're only gonna get faster from here. Oh, there.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty neat.
Quick. If you had the head a little bit closer, that's going right into your face.
I mean, this is 300 times slower than normal. So imagine that 300 times faster.
Yeah.
It wasn't unheard of for guys to just fire him from the hip. That was coming up into his...
But also, the moment of detonation, there's some good flames in there.
Yeah.
We're gonna, like right there too. We'll get that on the close-up.
It's probably gonna look awesome on the close-up high speed.
Did.
It must have caught on some of the other pieces of metal.
It almost came out
on the close-up.
It almost came out. It almost did.
It must have caught on some of the other pieces of metal.
I wonder if instead of the bolt carrier group, if it wasn't the springs that were coming.
Yeah.
Let's see, hang on.
Yeah, we're gonna, like right there too. We'll get that on the close-up.
I'd say you might catch a little bit of burns. The explosiveness seemed to be primarily directed upwards. Based on the 3000 frame per second or 300 frame per second footage, it doesn't look like your hand. You might catch a little bit of a burn, like maybe a 2nd degree, but I don't think it would fuck up your hand. If you were hip firing, yeah, it's, granted there's a possibility, like with this dust cover slapping you in the face, absolutely. Core, it's possible. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, this probably would not damage your hand because all the explosive pressure is going upwards. A very little of it, I think, is directed downwards, honestly.
Oh, it almost came
it
out.
almost did.
It must have caught on some of the other pieces of
I
metal.
wonder
Blasted out
if
the
instead of
ass
the bolt-
table, it completely blew its ass out. Yeah, but this one, it blew its tits off. The wrong direction. This didn't blow the ass out. This one blew the tits off.
carrier group if it wasn't
Oh
the
yeah, it would
springs that were
terrify you,
getting
Revan.
back into
I think that's what
people.
it is, yeah. Because if you're holding that rifle and like trying to draw aim, that's going right in your face.
Oh yeah.
There you go, 50,000.
Wow.
Oh, that's so cool.
Oh, did you see the shockwave? Wow, that's an impressive shockwave. Look at that. Look at that shockwave. That's impressive. And then, okay, let's see. Yeah, so again, you're going to catch a little singe. Thank you, Revan. You're going to catch a little bit of singe on your hands here. But again, the majority of it was directed upward.
Oh, that's so cool.
That shock wave, that's the initial burst of energy, and then it kind of grows pressure back there as like a secondary almost. Look for the bullet. Did we squib it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Surely that would have came out by now.
No, it should have been out by now.
Oh yeah. Hold on, let's go back. Maybe we missed it right at the beginning.
Oh, okay.
No.
I think we squibbed it.
Yeah.
Because I wonder
route
if
came
the
out.
pressure
My
did some
head-
sort of warp
My head is blocked. My head was blocking a chap, but the round did not exit the barrel.
this, and it maybe smashed it into the, I don't know.
I expected the bullet to come out.
Yeah, you can
Oh, I did
you can
too.
see the spring wanting to come out. Wow.
Hey,
It's like one of those silly hands that you throw at
Yeah.
stuff.
I want to see closer up on those
sticky
flames in
hand.
there. Whoa.
Wow.
That was like a rocket. It's no wonder that flew 100 and some feet away.
Yeah.
Wow. You know what? I will say the sturdy construction of the construction of the AK kept that blast pretty well contained, honestly. It did a really good job of keeping all this blast pressure contained under the dust cover. And yeah, it launched the dust cover, but it concentrated everything internally. That's why it fucked up the internals. And, I mean, pretty good. Yeah, and there is still a projectile in the barrel.
The AK is constructed a little bit differently, or maybe there's
No.
fatigue in certain areas. You could get totally
Deregulation.
different results.
Sure,
Just
if
depends
it's
on the gun.
rusted up or whatever, or there's some compromise in the receiver.
Oh, yeah, absolutely,
But also,
Dragon. It
your
still
face
broke.
would normally be much closer than where that watermelon is, so you could potentially get a lot of the explosion, or if the dust cover goes slightly differently, you'd take that to the head.
Hip fire and it's going all up your
Oh,
arms.
yeah.
And so you can definitely see what they were going for.
All right. Well, we captured a little bit of history today. That's pretty cool.
So awesome. I love these cameras.
So it was that close to being able to rack it back at you. So yeah, I could totally see it. To steal it from Mythbusters, I would say plausible.
Plausible.
Because it broke the tangs that actually hold it in the groove. So this would have been free.
Oh, so
to
it was
come
by
back.
sheer
If we did
luck
this
that
multiply-
the
repeat
buffer
experiment,
spring
I'm
and
pretty sure
or
we'd
that
get
the
the
spring of the
bolt to fly
bolt didn't
back
go
with the
flying
watermelon.
back
I
over
would
the
say it
head.
with high confidence.
It's just how many AKs do we want to destroy?
I think they fielded like 3,800 some odd of those. So there was almost 4,000 opportunities.
All right, well, thank you for watching. I think this was a good experiment, not necessarily the results we were hoping for in terms of gratuitous violence, but it was raw experimentation.
The movies,
Yeah.
sometimes they lie.
Yes.
Obviously, you guys know if we wanted to just destroy the AK, we could just stick some det cord in there. But this was just a look into a little bit of realistic military history And with the history, go check out the Fat Electrician. He's got the full deep dive going on. Sorry, Brandon, I broke your toy.
I think you'll like it. He's a little bit of a masochist, I feel like.
Yeah, he might hang it up.
Head over to Ordnance Lab if you like explosive stuff. They do a lot of cool stuff over there. Subscribe to
Brandon
them.
might be able
You're
to
probably
salvage
already
it,
subscribed to
perhaps.
Brandon, so I don't think we need to say that. Fat Electrician, head over there as well.
Subscribe to him.
Yep.
If there's other pieces of history like this that you guys would want to see what actually would have happened, drop them in the comments. This doesn't have to be the only one we do. I only picked it because of, you know, the relative psyop to Mac VSOG that was going on there. But if there's other stuff, let us know.
That is a good tie-in, yeah.
I've wanted to do this for a year and a half now.
Oh yeah, like same here. We've always wanted to do like, oh, this is really interesting because like the amount of effort it takes to do that, to disseminate all that
Super.
ammo and not get caught, is impressive.
I am
Oh,
so looking forward to
Brandon
the next
knew what he
episode
was
on it.
getting
I think
into
that's
giving
all we
him
got
this
for 'em.
AK.
Well, thank you for watching.
And
Please
McLaren,
subscribe,
thank you for
and
the
we'll see you in the next
follow.
episode. Uh-oh, uh-oh.
Oh, Gallagher.
Why didn't we get that in slow-mo?
I got watermelon in my AK again.
That was cool. That was really neat. And it's a good example of how they were able to do such a demoralizing how to do such a demoralizing activity for the enemy and not like tip their hand. We can see why it's like, you know, why didn't the North Vietnamese army like go, oh my god, we've been sabotaged, and think, oh shit, we were getting bad ammo and we don't know who to trust, or we don't know if we can trust our suppliers. It's very interesting.